I know that the video is probably not running as good as my gameplay is. I just downloaded a new recording software for my computer, or screen shaving thing. All right, guys, I am back. It has been too long. It has been 15 months since I recorded my last world tour video. Let me turn my music down a little bit. Crap, where is it? Already up to the great start. Go 50%. All right. So, I'm not quite sure where I want to start. We will be back here a little bit later. I'm going to start at the spawn. So, I've kind of been putting this off for a little bit. I know I am a little bit late, but I've been a little bit stressed at work the last couple days. I actually just got home from work. If any of you guys wanted to see what I look like, or want to know what I do other than Minecraft, I have started a new channel. It's about truck driving, semi-truck driving, and my job, and also guns. I like to shoot guns and collect guns and build guns. So anyways, that's what my new channel is, and that one does get uploaded to a lot more than this one. Obviously, this channel is just for me to make yearly Minecraft tour videos of my world, mostly for myself, not really for anybody else. But it's kind of been one of those years, I guess. I've had a lot of setbacks in this world, and like at one point I was in between my servers, and I had the map downloaded on my world, and my computer motherboard crashed, and I lost quite a bit of work, and I just haven't really been in a Minecraft mood lately. I had lots of problems with my servers. I've changed my servers around a few times and lost quite a bit of progress and come back. So it's been kind of a funny year for Minecraft, but I'm still here, and I watched my last year's video, and you know, we're back. That actually gave me quite a bit of inspiration, and I did get quite a few things done on this world, even though I didn't stream on Twitch at all or really have any updates in the last 15 months for this world, but I did get quite a bit done. So let's start this tour. My name is Parker. This is I believe it's my 10-year anniversary, or no, what did I say on my last video? I'm gonna have to look that up really fast. But this is my old survival world, and I can hear the dogs barking. I should have turned the sounds off. But gosh, this is my old world. I have spent so many hours in this world, and it's been a great experience for me and my friends that have played with me in this world. I'm trying to think about what I should say. Okay, so my last world tour, I put 9+ year old. So this is now 10 years old. 2013 is when I first started this world, about then, I believe. And the only reason I know that, not that I was keeping track 10 years ago, but the only reason I know that is because back when I was in freshman in high school, I really liked pirating video games on piratebay.com because I didn't have any money, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to pay for games, so instead of paying the $21 or whatever it was at the time for Minecraft, I pirated it. But the problem with that is, since I didn't have a Java account, I wasn't able to update. So for several years, I played on Java Minecraft PC version 1.5.2. And I was stuck on that version for many years until I eventually bought a Minecraft account. probably in 2017. I can't remember. Not that I didn't have the money after high school, but I just, you get familiar with things. Um, but yeah, I have spent a lot of time in this world, and a lot of things have happened throughout this world, and I like looking back and reflecting on the things that I've done and built and how my building style has changed. Um, but we are here in my, it's not my first base area, but this is my spawn base, what I would call. Um, when you spawn in the world, you spawn either like right here or right here. Um, and this used to be a little bit of a hill in a birch forest, but I've now obviously done a lot of terraforming. Um, actually, let me go over here, show this sign. I made this sign. It says, "Welcome to Craft Castle." That's the name of this world, and that's the name I made uh, when I started the world 10 years ago. Uh, so Spawn Base was started in 2017, Erd Tree 2021. That's when I started making this wall of birchwood. Um, yeah, but Minecraft chunks aren't active unless you're in them. So this is an area that started making a base thinking that this would be my area where I've got farms running all the time. And so I came and made this iron farm, which works very well. Started about 2017-ish. I'm not really quite sure, but it's the old style with the doors. Um, the villagers have gone up there, and it's been through many different variations as the rules have changed about villager breeding and stuff. But it's still fully functional. You can see I get quite a bit of iron out of there. This is my um, XP and gold farm. I would not recommend building one of these, especially if you're on Xbox, because it won't work. But you come up here. I don't know why I have an ink sac. There's a snowman up there. He throws snowballs at the piglins. Piglins get mad, fall. You get XP and gold. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go super in depth on this world tour as I did last year. A lot of the things really haven't changed too much, so I don't need to explain everything as much as I did before, but it still works. You get gold. That ticker is throwing the rotten flesh away. Oh, that sounded funny. I think there's some pillagers somewhere. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try and focus and make this a lot briefer than last year. I went back and watched my last year tour, and it was far too long. Um, but again, it was for me, so that I could go back in time and look. So I'm gonna try and focus on the things that have changed. So this is something new that I put in. This is a new map of the areas that I've started building or things that are worth seeing in my world. We are up here. This is where we are. Uh, my spawn base. Um, coming down here, there's a pathway that goes to my first castle or fortress, I guess. And then you keep following this down. This is another castle area, village, and then coming. This is my modern city area. So we're going to try and go through as much as that as we can. Coming over here, this is a little farm area I made with a windmill. Let's see. And then coming over here, this is some more things, a path going to my brother's castle that he's building. And then this is my Prismarine farm. So, yeah, this is not to scale. This would be much further away and it'd be further north. but I wanted to put it on the map to show it. Kind of like when you see USA maps with Alaska, Hawaii, and they're like right next to the rest of the United States, but it's not there. This, I don't know why I put this on the map. This is a castle that I started but didn't get very far on. I'm definitely not going to go show that. I will go show this. This is my Prismarine farm, and a lot has changed there. So I do want to go show that. Um, but yeah. All right. So what else do we have here? This is a little Allay. He's trapped in a bird cage. Those things freak me out. They make really weird noises. But this is a chicken farm. I don't want to get too close to it because it's really loud. Makes cooks chicken. That is a purpler farm. Doesn't work anymore. But I don't want to cover it up because reminiscing. I don't want to get rid of old things. And then you may be wondering, if you didn't watch my last world tour, what is this giant wall of birchwood? Well, let me kind of show you from out here. Oops. I also need to stop flying around as much. My last world tour, um, yeah, it was not good. Anyways, don't want to make anybody sick. I'm trying to get a good view. If you can tell what this is supposed to basically be a giant tree. Little background, this is based on the Erd tree from the game. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just forgot the name of the game. It's by the people that made Dark Souls. Elden Ring, there you go, Elden Ring. That game, I played it when it came out, and I wanted to make something big to cover up my spawn base, and I went a little bit too big. I don't know if you can tell if you watched the last world tour and you're hoping to see a great update of a giant freaking tree. Well, I'm only about halfway done, so but I've kind of gotten burned out because this is a lot and a lot of freaking birchwood, and I can't. I needed a break, but yeah, so in the story of Elden Ring, which there really isn't a story, I mean, there's kind of a story, but you're like running around, and there's not that many people in the world that talk to you, and the people that do talk to you, they've got about the depth of a puddle, and you really don't care about any of them. But there's supposedly a storyline that I just did not spend the time trying to figure out because I'm not that kind of guy that likes to go super depth into the lore. I like fighting, and if there's a storyline that's easy to understand, I like that. I did like the game itself, but I had a really hard time relating to the characters. But in the game, the Erd tree is this big tree that's the center of life. It's the tree of life or whatever, and it's golden and white, and I guess there's lore in it, so everyone's spiritually kind of connected to it, and when you die, you're back in the tree. But I just liked the way it looked because in the map, no matter where you are in the map in Elden Ring, if you look to the center of the world, you will see this tree. It is ginormous. So no matter where you're at, you can always see it, and I wanted something like that to be my mega base or whatever. So that's kind of what I started doing, and I made it way bigger than it needed to be. You can see that's the sky limit right there. I made that weird thing to show myself where the sky limit is, and I'm about halfway there. I still have probably 100 and something other blocks up to go. I've got these two birch farms over here, I guess you could say. These were here before, and they work all right, but that's a lot of mining to do. So sometime last year, I built this auto birch farm, AFK birch farm, and it works pretty good, but when I was really working on the tree, I was playing on a server that I owned, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just me, but it kept blowing itself up. It had a TNT duper up there. It kept blowing itself up, and I just haven't fixed it yet again. I've fixed it a couple times, but some of my farms just really don't work when I'm playing on the server, so I don't know. But it did work pretty good for a while. I can't take credit for this. This is by another YouTuber. I think it's Shulker Craft, but you just come in here and you turn it on and it shoots. There's a dirt block here and it shoots fertilizer or bone meal while you place saplings, and it works pretty good if you're playing on just a single player world. Had a little bit of a cough. Anywho, so that's kind of my spawn base, and I don't know. It was a good project that I'm still working on, but it is definitely the biggest thing I've ever done. Like a single project, it's the biggest thing. This is something new over here that I've started building. It's really not as impressive as it looks because it's like 3 blocks just in a pattern. But this is what I'm calling my King's Highway. I'm kind of on the same idea of making big stuff. I decided I wanted to make this giant bridge that goes to all the important places in my world. And I haven't even built like a way to get up there. You have to fly up there for now. But it's called the King's Highway, and I want to make some way to get up there, like a station right here. That's 0, in my world. But yeah, so I want it to go to like the end portal. I want it to go to the ancient city, maybe even a couple other places. We'll see. But it's made out of pretty easy to obtain blocks. It's just basalt, stone, and bone meal, and prismarine, which I can get all of those very easy, and emerald. Emerald is so easy to get. Now that I'm further in the game, and I just like the size of it, how big it is, and anyways, we'll see how far I get with that. But another reason that I started making that is when I first started this world. That's the spawn area, and that's the very first place that I started building right over here. So we're going to go to my first castle. I guess you could call it a castle or some sort of fortress. And this was the path that I took at the time, which now I've come back and I've kind of made it look like an old abandoned, dirty pathway. But I wanted something big that you could look at as you were walking this way. I don't know why I feel like I'm walking slow. So coming this way, when I first started this world, there really wasn't much to do in Minecraft. I mean, you could build things in creative, but I mean, even when I was playing on 1.5, there wasn't too many blocks or variety. So a lot of people just built stone castles, and that's kind of what I wanted to do at the time. I'm like, oh, I'll start this world and me and my friends will play and we'll just fight each other. So I started the world. I ran over here. I stopped because there was a pyramid there, and I'm like, oh, I can go raid that later. But this was the first place that I really started setting up shop. But it's really hard to survive in a desert when you first start the world. Once you're a little bit closer to end game or mid game, you would say, deserts are great because sand is easy to move and terraform, and you can make glass, which is very helpful in big designs. But I made this lava gate, which opens and closes very slowly. But I was proud of myself at the time for doing that. There's not too much here right now. It's pretty empty. There's just like a bedroom and some furniture, like a kitchenette. Here was some storage, some items that were left behind. Um, I lived here for a while. I've named this place Solitude Castle. I lived here for a while, and then my brother, Sir Farts a lot, that's his name. He hasn't really played on this world much, um, but he kind of lived here for a while, but he didn't really do too much. He did finish the roof up there, but I don't know, maybe. There's a portal in there. Nothing. There's not really any furnishings or anything. I had a pig farm here, which looks really out of place, and there used to be cows, but I killed them all for leather. I had a mine over there. I'm not really going to go through and show everything. I don't, there's no need to be going through all that stuff. None of this has changed, so you can go and watch the old video if you really want to know about all that. There's a sheep here. This is, I need to put a name tag on it and name it, but I remember one of the things I remember early on is I was very pissed at sheep because I didn't know they had to be on grass to grow their wool back. So I had this sheep here that wouldn't grow its wool back, and I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't grow its wool back. But now I know they have to be on grass. So little funny things like that remind me of um, how my perception in Minecraft has changed. So coming over this way, this looks very different. All of this has significantly changed from last year's video. Um, this pathway itself hasn't changed, but I did change this gate over here, and these guard towers are all brand new. Um, so let's go over here and just look at this. This is a non-functioning gate because I made it at an angle. I'm sure someone with better redstone um, knowledge would be able to do a better job than I have. But I made this area because at the end of last year's video, I said I was really in a medieval castle mood, and man, I really was. So I really wanted to go through and change all this, kind of upgrade this. This is my mountain fortress area. I'll talk more about that in a second. But this used to be kind of Arcadia Forest, I guess you could say. Little bit of a dippy. There was like a ravine right here, and I had a bunch of trees planted here to hide that area. That's one of my older areas. That it's a little door, secret door. We'll go in there in a minute. But I made these 4 watchtowers as well as this brand new gate. And I called it the Proving Grounds, right? Proving Grounds. And yeah, I'm gonna put some houses down here and maybe have some villagers down here later. But yeah, this is all new. And the watchtowers are basically just empty. They're all the exact same. And they're copied off of that watchtower, which that is my old watchtower that I made. One of the older towers. So I'm, they do look kind of funny. They don't look super medieval, but I don't know. It's almost like an homage to my former self if I remake towers that look like the old ones. So, anyways. But the reason that this area was kind of covered and hidden, back in 2014, 15, 16, I don't remember. I still had in mind the idea that I wanted to build a castle, I wanted to defend it from my friends, and I didn't want to be in that desert because the desert's not very easy to defend. There's not many places to hide. I wanted to live somewhere else. And so I wanted to come over here to this mountain. So I came over here, I explored this, and I needed somewhere that I could hide my valuables as I built up my castle or my empire fortress, whatever. And this is where I basically first came. Let's get off of that. So I'm going to take a drink of water. My throat's a little bit dry. All right. So I came here, I dug this hole in the wall. This was very difficult to make, and I'm not going to mess with it because I don't know how to fix it. But I've now finally gotten it to the point where you got like 2 seconds, run through the door and it closes up. And this, oh shoot, I can't even get out my own front door. Obviously, this doesn't look hidden, but I wanted it to be hidden. I didn't want anybody able to be able to find this place. Um, my castle on the hill, it's pretty easy to see that, so people can figure out where that is. But I didn't want to keep any valuables up there in case I got raided. So now there's nothing valuable in here, so that's why I have that nice decorated house shape. But this was my old hideout base, you know. Um, this is where I would keep all my goods. This is where I would always come. I've got some farms in here, watermelon, pumpkins. Um, this used to be a furnace, and this was my storage area. Some food and iron swords. This was added a little bit later. A little fish tank with some tropical fish. So let's see. Stronghold hideout base started 25, 15-ish. I don't know. Timelines are all fuzzy. Uh, that was a weird noise. I think that was the pufferfish. When I updated to the last update, for whatever reason, it deleted a lot of the texts from my signs. So this used to be a chore wall, or that's what I called it, but a job wall, or ongoing projects walls. And yeah, I'm kind of sad about that because I don't know what was written here before. So yeah, a lot of my signs I've had to go back and re-put text in them. So that's kind of annoying. A lot of my signs are now wrong because I don't remember what year I did a lot of my builds. And yeah, that's kind of sad to me. So some of them are probably wrong. If you watched my last video, don't come at me and say, hey, that was wrong. You said you built this in 2016, but now it says 2015. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know when this was built exactly. I'm really just guessing because I'm now all of my builds, all of their signs have been wiped out, and I have to go back through and put them all back in, and I'm not gonna spend that time doing that. But yeah, so this was my main place that I was living out of for quite a while. I have a portal in here that I can lock the door so pigmen don't come in here. But then the problem is it's one-sided and I get locked out. This was an enchantment room. This was a map room, which is now no longer here. But that's basically all that's here. There's not a whole lot. The biggest thing was the chests over here, which um, I could make this more of a storage area, but I like the fact that I've got walls in between the chests because when I did build this place, you couldn't put chests side by side, so you had to kind of do this or have a gap in between your treasure chests. So, anyways, fun things that remind you of the past. All right, so coming out here, this area has been totally revamped from last year, and I'm still kind of working on it. You've kind of got a crossroads right here, and I've kind of done this on purpose. If you turn left, it goes to Zanesville, which is my modern city over here. But if you go right, it takes you to my castle fortress, which is a castle, and it's supposed to be medieval, but um, I don't know. I don't like when people make medieval builds and they're all dark and creepy. I don't know how I feel about those. So it's a castle, but it's not like an authentic looking castle. So I'm gonna use the block that I want to use, and that's just the way it is. So I'm gonna fly up here actually to the watchtower if I can make it. Oop, hopefully that didn't make you too sick. Looking up here, this area is all brand new. Um, these ledges have been cleared off and terraformed, and I'm not sure how I feel about this right here. It was a stony mountain kind of a thing, but it kind of looks like a castle, but not. I don't know. I'm gonna put some more buildings on top, and maybe I'll put some uh, bunkers on the side looking out. But, but yeah, so when I came over here, I knew instantly I wanted to build here. It looks totally different from what it was, and I kind of want to go back to 1.5.2 and put in my seed and come look at the mountain again. But this was a really interesting, like old 1.5.2 terrain generation because I have over here, I think it was the update when they first added acacia wood and shattered savannas. And then over here, you had like this really shattered mountain range. Like I'm talking floating islands or boulders. And I cleared a lot of that up, which I don't know if I should have done that or not because I liked how it looked. But now it's been terraformed and it looks more calm. And then there was this mountain over here too, but there wasn't enough real estate really to build too much. I built that Teen Titans Tower. But coming up here, this path, I totally ripped up this path and made it bigger. This doesn't go anywhere. This is just a giant door that I made and I like the way it looks. I could put something in here. I probably will someday. Make maybe some villager housing or something. Over here is my old mine. I don't know if I really want to show anything down here. There's not much. There's this spawner right here that I used to get XP from and get drops from, but the creepers always blow it up. Well, would you look at that? I'm on fire. I got some strip mines up here. The most impressive thing about this, especially for the time, is my ladder up. Or elevator up. You use mine carts and you get up super fast. So, anyways, there's my mine, my old mine. I don't dig here anymore. My new mine over there, that's where all the impressive stuff is. I'm excited to get to that and show you. This area has just been flattened out. I really like this bridge I kind of put in. I was looking for something like Skyrim themed. You know when you go to Solitude, or I think it's Solitude. What's the really big city on the mountain where, gosh dang it, where the High King sits? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Solitude. It's been a while since I played Skyrim. But I wanted a bridge like where you're in the entrance there. Yeah, this path is old, but I've gone through and finished up the mountain or the mountain wall or border, whatever they call it. This is nothing. This just goes to a hole in the wall. Some storage. But yeah, this is an area that I'm looking forward to building villager housing, hopefully. But walls and terraforming, I love doing that, so I'll do a lot of that before I go and decorate. Most of my builds are not furnished or have decorations inside. So, coming over here, this pillar's brand new, makes it looks like the bridge to my castle is not just a floating thin bridge, but it's got some support to it. I'm not gonna go through the city too much itself. Nothing's changed up here. There's villagers and iron golems. Um, Nothing's changed here. This is just a village that I built probably 7 years ago to try and mimic a village, and we've got villagers everywhere. There's an old watchtower. There's an old watchtower. Uh, Go back and watch the last world tour if you want to see more. It's not worth going through everything right now. Um, this tower I will talk about though, because this is probably my favorite guard watchtower that I've ever made. 2016. Trying to look at it from the view right here. The reason I am very proud about this tower is because I didn't go off any YouTube video, I didn't look up anything, I didn't copy it, I just made it like this, and like freehand. And the reason I made this tower is because I knew that the way that the mountain formation was, there was this flat spot here. I knew I wanted to build a castle here, but I really didn't have any experience making cool castles. So, um, I mean, I wanted to do some practice building towers. So these towers were kind of practice, and the church over there was practice to get me ready to build my own castle. And so that's why this tower, it took me a couple tries. I tore it down, built it back up. Um, that's why I very much like this watchtower. It is my favorite watchtower I've ever made, and yeah, I liked it so much that I've made it 5 more times in this world. I made it one over there. I made those four, which, you know, not that they're super decorated, but I like the way they look. Not that they're great, but they're great because I made it freehand. And at the time, that's good for me. So, coming back down here, this bridge is. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. This bridge goes to my castle. A little bit's changed, not much. I think this was already all done in the last YouTube video. My render distance is turned up to 30, and I don't know how the video is gonna look, but on my computer it looks pretty good. Feels like it's running pretty good. This was the first castle. It's literally just, I named it just my castle. 2017 is when I started it. Somehow this gate still works. It's been through a couple changes. It used to be able to work from one button push, but somehow it broke, and then I switched it so now it requires 3 button pushes. One button push just to close it, and then 2 to reopen it. Of course, you know me, I don't like doing internal decorating. I really should furnish this, put something in it, but I don't like doing decorating. It's not my thing. I like making big structures that you can see from far away. So you can come up here. There's some towers. Not really much else here. Let's see, where should we go next? I don't know if I want to go to the cathedral or not. Um, hmm. I'm gonna go down to the village first and show this side of what I've done over here. We I don't want to go over that way yet because that's where the modern city starts. But this is an old pre-114 village that I found, and one of the reasons that I really liked setting up shop here and started building on top of the mountain because I knew, I needed. Hello, dude. I knew I needed villagers. I knew I needed all that stuff. So I came over here and I made this. This is my villager breeding storage and area. I'm not going to stay here very long because these guys are really loud. It's the best way to go. It's even louder over here. There's my chicken cooker. Alright, where should I go? I'm gonna go up here. I'll talk about this building in a second. So this area, if you watch the last year's video, does look a little bit different. Not too different, but I just did some terraforming and I put these spikes on the walls to make it look more like a castle, you know? And I put a lot of prismarine because I like, I wanted to make it not look like stone everywhere. It was too much gray. So trying to use a lot more colors. I like the deep slate bricks and the deep slate tiles, so I'm using a lot of that. But yeah, I did some more terraforming over here and made it look like I tried to make it look bigger than it was, I guess you could say. Like there's layers, when you if you've ever been to like a castle in Europe or like a fortress in somewhere, one of the thing, like one of my favorite places that I've been to in Europe before, and I've been pretty fortunate to travel and see a lot of older buildings, but old fortresses, you notice they've got multiple layers of walls, and like they got the outside walls. Maybe you'll have some houses and shops, and then inside walls, and then bigger houses, and then you work your way up. And by the time you get to the castle or the parliament building or whatever for the city, you've gone through several layers of protection and walling. So that's kind of what I was going for. I just wanted to look thicker, like you got layers of walls before you get up to the castle on top of the mountain. So, anyways, that's what this is supposed to be. This village is a really funny village to me because when I first got here, it was just horribly spawned in. All of these houses were underground. The villagers were stuck inside. And, of course, me being the generous overlord that I am, I had to fix the village and dig them all out and, take care of them. This is an automatic wheat farm. I don't need to really show that. It does work, but not unless I'm like right here for some reason. There's a villager that's trapped in there. I don't remember what his name is. He's probably got a name tag on. But coming up here, you can hear some zombies somewhere. This hasn't changed at all. This is an old pig cooker that does not work. Yeah, it doesn't work. But I kind of put some walling on it to make it look more like some part of the fortress, like a barracks or something. Also sea lanterns. I've been trying to use more sea lanterns instead of torches. I just like the way it looks more than torches. Coming up here, this big staircase. See if I can get an angled view of it. This staircase is one of the older parts. When I first knew that I wanted to build up on top of the mountain, I knew I had to get some villagers up there. And so this used to have a rail and minecart on it, and I pushed several villagers up there and then trapped them so that they would breed and multiply. So, anyways, kind of funny. Oh, how things have changed. Sorry if that's really loud when my character eats chicken. I'm going to go this way for now. Not too much has changed over here. Just a couple old cobblestone houses and hobbit holes that villagers live in. Um, this is just a replica of my favorite tower over there. But coming over here, this part is new. So I will talk about this for a second. This is what I call my Black Evil Castle. Um, and I've kind of given up on working on it for a second. Luckily, this door still works. But I made this door. It's a sliding 5x5 door, and I can't take credit for it. I saw it on YouTube. Somebody else made it, and I just copied exactly what they did. But this is supposed to be a castle that I started. I started it December of last year, 2022. So over a year ago. And I had a pretty sad experience shortly after starting this castle. My computer that I had, I like Alienware sometimes. That's what I have right now. I'm playing on an Alienware laptop. But I was in between servers, so I canceled my um, what was it? My Minecraft realm, and I opened a server, but I didn't like the server, so I pulled the game down for a while. I was just playing on single player on the world, and I wasn't great about making backups like I should have been. And my computer motherboard just, I don't know what happened. They said that the motherboard was shot. So luckily I had a warranty on my laptop. I sent it in, but I lost they wouldn't give me the hard drive back, so I lost the world and I lost a ton of progress on this castle. I mean I should just suck it up and go back and try and work on it some more, but I don't know. I don't like doing things twice. So it's kind of sitting here until I decide I want to finish it. Um, but I'm trying to go for something different with it. I wanted to make it like a cathedral. Up top have pillars and a giant glass stained window. I'm trying to use dark stuff like this is red nether brick. So you use nether warts to make the nether brick red. Using deep slate and the teal green from prismarine. I don't know, something different. Maybe I'll come back and finish this, but I'm not in the mood. I don't want to go back and do it again. I'm kind of mad at it. So luckily, the good part about the story is I did have a couple other backups that were from a little bit before I got this new computer. The warranty paid for my new computer, and we're still playing Minecraft, barely, but we still are. Um, but yeah, so this is the Black Castle. This was not here when I made the last video, so that's something new. Coming over here, let's go, keep going over this section. This part, the thing I'm about to show you next, this is probably the most recent thing I've been working on, and I actually really like how it's going, so let's keep going over this way. This, you could say bridge. This isn't really a bridge yet, it's just a slab of wood. Eventually I'll decorate it more. But I was in a very big medieval mood, and I wanted to expand this way. And so I started terraforming about a year ago, this platform right here, but I didn't know what I wanted to build yet. Like, should I build another castle? I've already got two kind of castles. Should I build a church? And eventually I decided I wanted to build a cathedral. So, this is gonna probably make me sound bad, but maybe not. Maybe I'll be all right. Um, I'm not Catholic, but I have been to a lot of giant Catholic cathedrals, and I absolutely love looking at old buildings. So I can't take credit for this because I've I've been watching tons and tons of YouTube videos. Let me go to sleep actually before I show this. This is something I only started last month. Um, I have way too much buildup for this, but I don't actually really have that much progress on it yet. Um, I wanted to make a cathedral. I decided I wanted to make a cathedral, but I didn't want to just make like that church. So that church up there, I probably should go over it, but I'm just I don't need to go over it again. Nothing's changed. You can go look at it. But that church I made like about 2015, 2016, 2017. So, 8 years ago or so, I made that church up there. And it's pretty basic. There's not any decorations inside. There's pews and a stand and two llamas that are tied to the ceiling. You can see them bouncing in there. I named them Chewy and Chewy, but they're spelled different. That's kind of an inside joke for me. But I knew I wanted to build a church, and I had a couple ideas. I made a couple layouts, but then I kept wanting to make it bigger and bigger and bigger because the a lot of the cathedrals you go in Europe, they're huge buildings, and you just like long wise you can see so far back, and I really wanted to make that effect in Minecraft. And so there was a couple world tours or world downloads on Planet Minecraft of cathedrals and mega churches and monasteries that I walked through. And there was this one that I played through. I still have the world download. And this guy, he's made like 10 different giant cathedrals based on real ones in real life, like Notre Dame and Emmaus and like St. Mark's in St. Mark's in Venice, giant cathedral, St. Peter's Basilica. He's made all of them, and the feeling you get, like I was playing on this world, when you look down the hallway and you just see all these pillars. I got that feeling again, like when I was in Europe touring some of these giant cathedrals. So I keep making it bigger and bigger, and my original platform wasn't big enough, and I still need to do more terraforming because I've now decided this bridge originally only went to here, and now I want to make the church bigger. But I had to I didn't like using so much dirt, so I made it look like a dam or something, or another giant stone bridge over here. But yeah, so this area has kind of always just been like a fall area. I can always see mobs down in the ravine. I think I'm going to flatten this and make more area to put houses. But anyway, I'm taking too long. This is the front of the cathedral so far, and I'm not done with it, obvious. This is probably the single most detailed wall I've ever done, and I'm using aspects from like 5 different cathedrals that I've seen other people make in creative. And yeah, I'm pretty excited how far this is going. Let's see if I can get it here. So I've toyed with, like, a lot of people use armor stands for like statues, granite statues or marble statues of saints. And first I was against it, but now it's kind of growing on me. So lots and lots of armor stands, and I need to make the bell tower still, but I wanted something that was like big, like you could see it from the road down there when you're coming into my front gate. So that's kind of what I've been working on lately. I'm probably going to get burned out like I do on everything else in this world. So let's see if I can get a better view. I'm going to fly up here. Turn that music off. It's very, very loud. Ooh. Sweet. I do like Minecraft music, but sometimes it can be very annoying. So this being the single most detailed building I've ever done, it does make me feel kind of bad that it's next to this, which is probably the least detailed building I've ever done. Um, wow, that was one heck of a segue, huh? Yeah, so this is my mega cathedral. Started it last month in December. I was doing the terrain flattening before, but now it's ongoing. So yeah, one of my mega projects. I'm gonna hopefully get more progress done with it, just like my giant tree and bridge that I'm making. Hopefully, this has a bigger shape next year. We'll see how far I can get on it if I don't get burned out again. Coming over here, this is a bittersweet build that I have. This is called my Babylon Tower. I started it in 2017, and another thing on top of building castles back in the day when Minecraft was earlier on, a lot of people like to just make towers that went to the sky limit for no reason. And of course, I did that too. So this goes to 256. That's the height limit, or at least what used to be the height limit. Now it's higher. Um, but yeah, I just made this giant tower, and I never filled it in because I didn't know how to design it. And last year, I just was so sick of looking at it, I filled it in with honeycomb and uh, wool. So, anyways, Babylon Tower, that's what I named it, ironically, because it's like the Tower of Babel in the Bible. If there's the story of them building the tower up to the heavens, that they said that they could reach God by building magnificent towers and um, you know, so on and so forth, like that you could get to God by building a giant tower rather than being a spiritual person. So, anyways, that's kind of how I felt. I thought I would be cool if I could just build a tower to the sky limit that had no functional purpose. And now it's I mean, I don't mind it now that I've kind of filled it in and it's not just a wire frame of cobblestone. But yeah, for a while there was villagers living up here, but I think they all fell off the staircase and died because there's not any more villagers up here. Or maybe they needed beds and I never put beds up here. Did I put beds up here? No, there's no beds. Okay, yeah. Well, if I didn't have a bed, I'd probably jump off too, you know. We probably be a little bit more safe because I don't have a totem of undying on me. Maybe I can be safe. See, I can be safe. There are beds down here though, so there used to be villagers here too, but I don't know where they went. So, all right, where should we go next on the tour? I think that's pretty much all I want to show in this mountain fortress area. These are some hotels that I made, and my cousin and my brother built one too. So there's this purple hotel, the roof's purple. That's the cobblestone one, and then this is, did I name this one? Orange Stone. Okay, Orange Stone, that's what I named it. Um, so here's the church. Oop, really loud villagers. Not much in here, just the llamas tied to the ceiling. Uh, that's about it. Let's go try not to disturb those annoying villagers. This is also another hotel I made, similar to this phase when I was building hotels here, but I wanted to just make it bigger and better. And at the time, this was 1.14, which that was when I had tons and tons of iron because they changed the iron farms and villager spawning and I just wanted to make it out of iron. So that's what that is. It's empty. There's nothing in there. I didn't even make like the third floor. So villagers can't really go in there or do anything. Nothing's really changed there. Um, okay, well, that's the mountain fortress. Um, Now coming over here, one thing I wish I would have done different when I started building, um, is now looking back, I wish I would have moved my modern city further away. Um, because now you can see my twin towers, my 911 twin towers from my modern or my old castle. So that's one thing I kind of wish would have changed, but you have to understand um, why I started building a modern city. I wasn't building a modern city necessarily just to build a modern city, like decorative wise. This was kind of like a mix of my industrial park and, anyways, but let me explain by showing these two buildings just really fast. I won't go into all the skyscrapers because most of them are empty, but this is actually a desert. This is a desert biome right here, which was really funny how, luckily Minecraft's a lot better now when with biome generation, but you go from shattered savanna, shattered mountain range, immediate flat desert. So uh, I don't know. I made this path quite a while ago to go from my little hidey hole in the mountain all the way over to the village before I started building on top of the mountain. But I needed a area like, an industrial park to make farms and whatnot because I knew I wanted a lot of blocks. I knew I needed ways to get materials. And this was, oop, there you just missed it. The guy burned to death. This was my first ever iron farm that I ever made. And not even just ever, or not ever just in this world, but ever in Minecraft. This is the first iron farm I ever really made. And I know it looks ugly, and I'm not changing it because of the sentimental value it has. You know, it's got all the old doors, and this, like the one in the spawn base, it has been through many variations. So now that's what it looks like. And it works pretty good. It spawns an iron golem, I think, every 60 seconds, maybe. Maybe more. Trying to stay away from these guys because it's very loud and annoying. Let's see if we can get a golem to spawn. Anyways, it works about every 60 seconds to 2 minutes. Oh, there you go, right there. So it works pretty good, actually. And I have several more iron farms that I've made. Even this year, I think I made 2 iron farms because they're just so easy to make now. Now that you understand the zombie scare and how that works, iron farms are easier and more efficient than they almost ever were. The only exception was the first 1.14.1 version when there was no cap on how many iron golems could be spawned in a village. But anyways, I will actually show that in a second. So that was what this building's for. And then this building was my, I guess, storage area and item sorter for a while. Multi-farm tower. There's a lot of small farms here, like there's a cactus farm that used to be here. This is my sugar cane farm. Nothing's changed. Moss, if I need moss, I come here. Pumpkins, watermelon are all in there. I hate how you walk slow when you're going through vines. But this is my item storage, bulk sorter. It was decommissioned in 2021 when I started making my new item sorter, which I will show in a little bit. Um, this door used to open like the one in my other area, but it is no longer functioning. You have to manually. Nope, nope, nope. Does not want to work. So I'm not going to mess with it. I don't have time. Yeah, so here I had several different sorters, and I've taken all the rails out. So these used to be funnels and filters, but they no longer work. And here's a there's some hoppers that go to the new sorter. Anyways, none of this has changed. You can go back to the last video and see the last video if you care to. This is my greenhouse. That's what I call it. It's a skyscraper that when you're trying to think of farms you want to build, I had this idea. I wanted to make a skyscraper, and every single level would be a different type of crop. So carrots, potatoes, beets, whatever, whatever. And I didn't get that far. I think I'm only up to 3 levels. So there's carrots and potatoes and beets, and that's it. But again, you don't really need all those types of food, really. So it's kind of pointless. I mean, it's not pointless, but all I eat is chicken because you get it for free. Once you make an auto chicken cooker, you have endless chicken. So coming in here, this is an interesting area, and this is an area that I'm not going to tear apart, even though it's not really efficient or functional anymore. This is my first iron farm that came out April 2019. Wait, is that right? How does it 2018? I don't know. 114. Whenever 114 came out, they changed the way that villagers work. So they now need a workstation and a bed instead of going by doors, which they used to go by, and that's why there's so many doors in my world. They now go by this, and the rule used to be once or twice a day, villagers will talk to each other, and when they talk to each other or whatever, it spawns one iron golem for like 2 villagers. So this farm would make, like, if it was fully stocked with villagers, which it's not, I let a lot of them out and they all died because it was making my computer lag so bad at the time. And now there's only a couple, there's like 5 in each one of these different cups because it's, you don't need that many villagers anymore. But yeah, it was making probably like 300 iron golems every Minecraft day, and that was just so much iron. Actually, it was probably more than that. But I'm not gonna, tear this down because I like the nostalgia of remembering, hey, this is what it was like. That's why I built it this big. So, anyways, and then later I built the skyscraper around it. I built the get out of here, the Empire State Building from New York. At least that's what it's supposed to be. If you're asking yourself why do my towers look different from last year, I don't have any of my old texture packs installed. I'm running like purely vanilla. Um, I had this really cool texture pack that would make glass panes have like cross members in them so you couldn't see directly through glass panes. And that was really cool, but I did notice that it made my computer lag really, really bad. And the last version that the dude updated it was like 116, so it's several years old. And anyway, so I'm kind of just dealing with it. Um, like if you're looking over here, this is one of my Twin Towers buildings. It looks hollow, but there's two layers of glass paneling there, but it still looks hollow. So I don't know. I'm gonna eventually have to either go through and make it look more reinforced or something. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna need to do, but also like that tower over there, that's my World Trade Freedom Tower, Tower One. It looks completely hollow, and it's kind of pissing me off just a little bit. But I'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm gonna do quite yet. Coming over here, I don't know what he's doing here. There's no. This isn't a village. That's weird. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think what do I want to include and what do I not want to include. Because like some of these buildings I don't really need to show again. This is my iron tower, which I just made an iron tower because I had so much iron back. You? I hope I don't get any repercussions for that. I hope my villagers that I trade with don't get pissed at me. In there, I've got a mob grinder, and up top, that's where I do farm purplar. I've got a section up there in the sand area. This is my super furnace building and bamboo farm. So I will actually show that in a minute. It's supposed to be the New York Stock Exchange building, which I built quite a while ago, 2020. I was really getting into the stock market a couple years ago. Um, so here's an old stone and basalt farm. Coming up here, this is a cactus farm and another iron farm. I don't know. I hope it's working. Sometimes the iron golems spawn in really dumb places, so they get stuck. I'm trying to give these guys funny names. Ding, and what's the... Oh, well, I guess we'll never know his name. Anyways. You can come up here and go out through the roof. Got a bunch of paintings here with a hidden door. So, yeah, well, let's come over here. What the? Hold on, guys. I think my mouse just died. I'm gonna have to plug it in. Hold on 2 seconds. Sorry for the inconvenience. Gosh. Have to die right in the middle of my world tour? Gosh. All right. Crisis averted. Okay. Uh, this area this is really where my city began, because I started making some farms over there, and I wanted to make something at this point. When I first started building over here, this is a golden dome. Ooh, I didn't talk about that. That's an old roller coaster that I did finish this year, so it's a roller coaster. I don't know. Somebody's wanting to go on the ride. When I first came over here, obviously my village was over there. I'd started working on the mountain, but like these towers weren't built yet. And this is why I say I kind of wish I built my city further so it wasn't like, oh, there's my castle, medieval area, here's my modern city, they're right next to each other. And I get that. I know that. That's what I'm saying. But at the time, I wanted to make something big that was like off in the distance, you know? And for whatever reason, I just thought I'd make the Twin Towers, um, which I'm glad I did because I think they look really cool, especially this one with this flag. I think I finished it this year. All four flags. So there's a flag wrapped around this is Tower 2, the one with the antenna. Actually, it might be Tower 1 with the antenna. I don't know which one had the antenna or the bigger antenna, but this one has a flag and this one does not. This building, I'm not going to show inside, but I got some wool farms down in the bottom. You can see down there. And then my honey farm is in there, but nothing's changed since last year. There's just a bunch of bees in there. There is two working elevators that go up, so that's pretty cool. Um, Coming over this way, that is my wife Christine's house. She has made some changes, but I don't know if I want to go over there today. Um, I have I've tried to finish this bridge, but I have not done so yet. It's taken me forever to make this bridge over the harbor. um, Over there, that's nothing important. That weird looking building. I was thinking I wanted to make like a nuclear facility, like from The Simpsons, like a power plant off in the distance, but it's kind of dead. So I might go and tear that down. I don't know what I want to build over there, but that area is flattened if I wanted to put something in the future over there. But I I'm not feeling inspired enough to go over there. So, anyways, coming over here, I've tried making statues and making my world look pretty. So this is a statue with an end crystal and the dragon's head. Um, Custom tree. This is Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated from Phineas and Ferb. I know it doesn't look quite right, but you know, it is what it is. There's not really any farms in there. There is some sheep farms, or there was a sheep farm in area where I had a bunch of sheep, but I did kill most of them because it was making the world lag. So now it's just an empty building and it just looks cool. This is my train station. It's based off of a train station here in my hometown. Like I said, all these signs got wiped, so I don't know what to write there, and I'm kind of angry about it. Um, there is a little map here of just this part of the city. It's not even my whole city, and it's not really even updated. And then there's a secret tunnel into my new storage area, but we'll go there in a minute. I want to show this tower, then um, we'll go to my item sorter, then we'll go over to the newer parts of the city and the newer skyscrapers, and then let's see what else should we do after that. And then we could probably go to my Prismarine farm. I think that's a good plan. Try and show the most important parts, and then we'll go to the Prismarine. So this is Tower 1. I think I started this in 2018. Yeah, that's what I wrote, 2018. That's my groundbreaking. That's when I came over here. This was just, I mean, it still is. Like, if I come over here, it's a desert. I'm in a desert. So I came over here and I'm like, I need sand for glass. This is the perfect place to build my city because I'm going to get tons and tons of sand. And yeah, I just started making this tower, something big that I could see from my castle, which now I wish it was a lot further away. But this is probably the only furnished like skyscraper in my whole city. Um, I spent a lot of time furnishing it. You can laugh at me all you want. I don't care if it looks funny, but this is the most furnished building in my entire world. And this is kind of where I say my office is. This is where I live. This is my home in the world. I don't have a lot of items stored here, but like this is I call it my office, my living area. So this is the lobby. You can laugh at this chandelier, but I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Some, water areas, some lighting, some cool lighting. It's got the daytime sensors, which honestly, I've never even used daylight sensors in any Redstone build. I don't know what people use them for, other than maybe, it might look good as like a solar panels or something, but I don't know why you would ever use it unless you're making like an automatic lamp that turns on at night. But even then, just make it like a regular lamp so it's always on. I don't know. But yeah, so this area I got blue terracotta and I really like the way that looks. I would do it more, but it is very, very hard to get terracotta. In my mind, you just have to mine it all out and that makes me sound really lazy. I've got some elevators over here. This one had a sign that said out of service. Oh, shoot. Out of service. What the? I can't. Okay, there we go. Out of service. I wanted to make 2 elevators, but I messed up the dimensions and I'm 1 block too short to the left. So I don't have enough room to make this elevator. Unfortunately, guys. But I do have this one. It works pretty good. And the doors automatically close. So there it goes. Flying machine. It is very loud and I do not want to ride it. Instead, we will fly up to my area in a minute. Coming up here, this is kind of like a cafe area that I tried to make. Got a couple villagers in here, but they don't get very many guests, unfortunately. Luckily, villagers can't open trapdoors, so that's a good way to trap them in. There was a wandering trader that I name tag and tied here, but I think he has vanished. So, yeah, he's gone. See, look at that. It looks like there's nothing here, but there's 2 layers of glass panes. That makes me really sad that it looks like there's no wall there, but there is. It's black glass. So I'm gonna have to go through and fix this at some point. This was supposed to be apartments, some living space, but I took all the beds out and put them somewhere else because zombies kept spawning up on the ledges, falling down and killing the villagers. So I don't know. And I don't like the annoying villager noises. And this is kind of like my home. This tower is. So I don't want a bunch of villagers running around. That's just my feeling. I got places to keep the villagers, and I got my own living space. So let's fly up here. Let's see if we built or beat the elevator. We did not. So here's the elevator. Set it back down. So it does work. If I wanted someone to come up here, it does work. This is kind of like my office and my working area. Disregard the really loud portal. This is like a conference room that I made. I always thought this would be a place that like me and my friends could come and plan out our builds or our adventures, or like a city planner. If people came to me and said, "Oh, I want to build this building or something, and I would say, nope, permit denied, or whatever. I don't know. But that's for, groups of less than 8. And then this was supposed to be my lecture hall where, groups bigger than 8. Although I've never had more than 7 people on my server at one time, so I don't know why I would never ever need a room this big. So it has now been turned into a lay sanctuary or something. So they creep me out, the noises they make. Ew. And then coming in here, this is my office. I got my parrot. If someone wanted to talk to me, I could be really serious and lock the door and intimidate them with my diamond armor. I don't know. And these are some of my books. So I write down like ongoing projects. Prismarine Base, Froglight, Duloc. Then this is future towers that I may or may not want to build. I don't know. I just haven't been feeling inspired to build skyscrapers lately, so we'll see. But that's the good thing about this world, is that I can always come back later. I can always change what I'm in the mood for. I've got several unfinished projects. Whatever I'm in the mood for, I can just do it. So coming down here, this is my apartment. It does look a little bit different because there was an accident this year. Someone touched... I had an end crystal here. Somebody touched it, and it blew up my fish tank, which... okay. Kind of made me clean everything else up. I have to go through and restack all my armor and fix the giant hole in the floor. But yeah, this is kind of my living area. I've got the Ender Dragon egg up there. Not that you really can use it for anything. Got some dragon heads, Ender chest. This is my new enchantment area with some books. Got some maps. That's the Woodland Explorer map. Golden Apple. Armory kind of area. Fish tank. Coming down this way, this is like my kitchen, I guess you would say. Yeah, kitchen, books, my giant bed, a couple of lace floating around that managed to escape somehow. Then this area is kind of just, I don't know, black terracotta. And then the biggest portal you can make in Minecraft. So these axolotls are swimming around. One good thing about my fish tank blowing up is I decided to tear it all out and turn it into solid blocks of glass. So now, because before, if you watch the old video, they were all stuck like in the corner. They're routing AI wouldn't let them move because they were stuck on a glass panel, but now they can kind of swim around, and it's kind of cool. For some reason, they don't want to swim up, which is unfortunate. This is a cloud. I don't know if you can... Maybe I should turn my clouds off, but that's one cool thing about having skyscrapers is clouds just go right through. Let's see. That's pretty much it for here. You can get up in the elevator or the ladder, but I like to just fly here. Let's see. Good. My Elytra's not dead yet. What else should I talk about? This is a pretty big building. It's my tree farm. But nothing's changed in there. Other than I've now covered the whole building in moss, so you can't see right through it like you can see right through this tower. Then coming down here, this is a secret entrance into my storage, so we're going to take this. Actually, let me show you first. I've got this statue here. Nice. And this takes you into my underground. So, like I said, my city's built in a desert, which is really good because you get a lot of sand. You can terraform very easy. Um, but before I was doing that, there's low areas and high areas. My first phase was just to cover the whole place in frickin' netherrack because it was easy. And I mean, it does look ugly, but if you're planning on covering and doing, landscaping on top of it, netherrack's not a bad way to start covering stuff up. The only downside is that Enderman can pick it up, and I hate Enderman picking up sand and dirt. Just pisses me off. So I got a couple underground tunnels. They go all underneath the city, but there's nothing really over there. There's a portal over there. But coming over here, this is my new mega item sorter and storage area. This took forever to build, and I have hoppers that run all the way around in a circular pattern so that, you know, there's several drop points in my city where you could just drop items and they'll funnel in here. And it's all through hoppers because I don't trust water streams. I know hoppers make your game lag if you have too many hoppers, but I'd rather have that than losing all my items in a water stream. So, anyways, I've got this area where I can turn it off, and I've got an emerald that runs through if I need to check if the filters are working or not. But just your basic stuff: arrows, bones, iron, which I have tons of iron. These are all full of iron blocks. So, yeah, I got plenty of iron to do whatever I want. Coming over this way. This is my super smelter and bamboo farm. So, I mean, it works out pretty good. It's got some kinks, gets stuck sometimes. This is a timer that goes on and off. Hello? Well, talk about kinks and broke. And then I've got sea pickles and flowers to get dyes. I also like to do glass, so I stain glass here and, the basics. Right, let's keep moving. Coming over this way. Let's see, what do I want to show over here? Ooh, I want to show my mine. That's what I want to do. Yeah, that's what I want to do. These are some empty buildings. That's got an iron farm in it. This has an iron farm and mob grinder. This is my old brick factory, which I still haven't put windows in. So, don't come at me. I just haven't felt like it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I've been really defensive this video, this world tour. Like, I don't know why I'm acting like I'm need to be apologetic for not finishing builds, but I don't know. This is my mine. Now, I just want you to know I have done a lot of mining since last year. A lot of mining. So this is, sorry, I'll keep backing up. I am a giant Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fan. I love I loved the old trilogy. Um, I guess it's not called a trilogy. Maybe I'm the only one that calls it a trilogy. The original Lord of the Rings movies, um, and then the new Hobbits. I loved the new Hobbits, but this is based on Ereborn, the Lonely Mountain Mine the dwarven mine. So when I first came here, this has been flattened to try and not make it look stick out, like stick out or look funny. Um, but this, when I first got here, it looked like a perfect cave opening, and there's kind of the river. The river's pretty cool because it runs straight here, and then it looked like it was going into a hole in the ground. Like if I go, how do I show this? God, now I'm stuck. Swimming is not my biggest suit. So, yeah, it literally looked like the stream was going into a cave when I first got here. That fence, and you know, it looked. This is all natural, other than me building my pillars right here. It looked like a natural cave entrance that kind of went through. And this was, old style. This wasn't after Caves and Cliffs. This was old style. So I decided to make a new mine here because I was starting to build my city, and it was kind of a far way to run to my old mountain mine. But this is my new Ereborn mine, which I say new. It's almost 6 years old since I first started digging here. But I made this giant staircase down because I knew I wanted to make a cool entrance, and this has all been dug out. This looks totally different from the last video. I don't know if you can grasp how big this is. This used to be all underground, and then this was like supposed to be a supporting area that opened up into the giant open cavern. But yeah, I've been doing tons and tons of digging here. And I love the what do they call it? The particles, the grain effect that comes from these flowers, and the deep slate when you got the little black floating flecks. So I'm putting these flowers everywhere, and I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this staircase here because I actually like how it looks. I've kind of embroidered it, and actually fly back up here. You can see that I've now dug up below the staircase, and I'm going to dig all the way down to bedrock, but it's going to be a while because deep slate takes forever to mine. Stone you can mine really, really fast, especially if you have a, haste 2. You can mine out so much so fast. But yeah, so I've done a little bit of more embroidering. This is copper. I put copper stairs and waxed them, and then this is prismarine. This I don't have a lot of copper because this is old style Minecraft, old chunks. There's not really any copper here. There's some copper at the deep slate level, but not very much. And I have a couple mines that are further out, like the mine is the only thing out there. So I've got areas that I go and I mine copper, but like I used all of my copper reserves to make this staircase, and I don't have very much copper left, which may or may not be a smart thing, but I really haven't had any need to use copper in building, so I don't feel too bad about it. Trying to show the wealth of the area. When you watch Lord of the Rings and they show what the mines used to look like before it was attacked by the dragon. There's gold everywhere and emeralds and rubies, and that's kind of what I want it to look like, Some bats. Coming down here, here's my storage area. Here. So here, this room is my stone room. These are all filled with smooth stone, both sides. And I've kind of got a system where, I put single chests on the wall if they're empty, and then as I'm filling them up, I'll make them double chests and fill them up. And that's worked out pretty good for me. Like, coming up here, if I only have a couple miscellaneous blocks, I'll put them in here. And then, so, granite, andesite, tough, diorite, gravel. This is regular deep slate. This isn't cobbled. And then dirt. And then over here I have cobbled stone, deep slate, and then just miscellaneous things, jewels, gems, redstone, yeah, the works. And then in here, this is actually, I should probably show. Shoot, I did it wrong again. Oh, great. I broke it. Frick! There we go. So this is supposed to be a secret entrance, but I guess I left it open. You jump up here on this so that you can see the levers. Gosh dang it. See, this is why I'm dumb, and you can't trust me to build anything redstone because I will mess it up 100% of the time. Anyways, this is my secret door. This is supposed to be my secret armory. Obviously, before the most recent update came out, we knew that it was going to be harder to get netherite, and I still don't think I actually have. I still don't have the template to make netherite armor, so I need to go exploring some more in my nether and find some more bastions so I can get the upgrade smithing template. So I started hoarding all my netherite and making armor because I knew it would be harder to make. And maybe shoot, I totally lost my train of thought. And I've also started trying to collect armor trims, um, you know, like everyone else is. But I haven't gotten too many yet, so I have these three are the only three that I have. I have Tide, so that's the one I think you get from killing uh, Elder Guardians at the underwater pyramids. And then this one is Sentry, so that's from Outposts, I think. And Snout, that's what you get from a Bastion. So I did find the new Bastion, and I got that one. But I don't know, I just haven't. At first I was really excited when they made the announcement and did the showcases and the snapshots, and now I'm like, oh, I don't really look at myself very much in the game, you know? I guess I don't care that much. And also, there's way too many options. I don't know what armor set I want. So, I don't know. But yeah, this is my hidden reserve of upgraded armor. Yeah. Coming down here, let's see. There is. Let's see, I do want to show this. I got really lucky. I can't tell you how lucky I got when the new generation came out, or the terrain generation, and made it so the world goes down to -60. Literally right below my where I started putting my storage and everything, there was literally a dungeon right here that spawned. Anyways, so now this is my XP farm. If I'm mining, I don't want to go all the way to my other XP farms, but you hold out your pickaxe and you sit here. It works pretty good. I get stuff, I guess. Also, it works really good for glowing. Not that I need glowing, but I get tons of bones, and I just throw all the bows and the armor away when this chest gets filled up. So, works out pretty good. Put my sword away. Um, that's basically it. There is, I, I don't know if I should or not, or if it's worth it or not. If I should make some sort of mega spider spawner. There's 5 spider spawners right here from the um, abandoned mine shafts. There's one there, one there, one there. There's one behind that wall just a little bit, and then there's another one behind that wall. There's 5 spawners just like right here. But I don't I don't really need string. I don't know what I would use it for, but I've seen videos of people making giant underground spider spawner farms, which so I haven't broken them yet, but I just don't know what to do with them. And I feel bad if I break them because you can't, at least I don't think there's a way to get spawners, even if you have Silk Touch. I don't think you can move them or replace them in survival. So I'm kind of just leaving them for now because I don't know what to do. But and then, I kind of want to make this area under here, like I want to make it like a dwarven kingdom or something. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but I'm going to keep digging this down. The only thing other than the staircase that I've made down here is really this. This is like kind of a tree dome. I just barely made this actually, with a cherry blossom and a bunch of allays in here. It just does that not? Am I the only one that gets freaked out by the noise these allays make? It sounds so creepy. And everyone on the internet, on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, they're so cute. I have these allays." These things freak the crap out of me. They sound so scary, and I don't know. But they're kind of cool, so I keep making them multiply, and they're stuck in this tree dome. And sometimes I'll let a few out, and they'll fly around, but somehow they end up getting out of my cave or dying in the lava, because they can actually fly out that cave right here. They actually come out here, and boom, there's my castle. Hello. So, anyways, this is my mine. I have spent a lot of time here. Um, but I've had a lot of people ask me to go back and stream on Twitch and show what I'm doing, but I don't like doing that because then my computer lags and I have to be funny and talk. And, Minecraft to me it's kind of that game where I can just not think. I can just get on and play. And mining has been really fun for me this year because I've done so much of it. And it's actually something fun that I like to do with my wife. We like to watch TV, and I like to play Minecraft, and maybe she'll play Minecraft, or maybe she'll play. She really likes Animal Crossing, and she's got this farm game on her Switch she plays. Um, but we watch a lot of like stupid romantic comedies and funny TV shows that the kind of shows that you only need half your brain to understand what's going on. So when I play Minecraft, I love being zoned out. And mining is so easy. I just mine while I'm watching a show or a movie. Um, you know, so I've done a ton of mining down here this year, and I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. Obviously, I still have a lot of area to go, but this is a lot of chunks. This is basically the whole radius of that beacon. Once you come like right here, you're out of range of the beacon, I think. So, anywho, that's my main mine, and I still dig here, and yeah, that's where I get most of my blocks. Also, I've done a ton of mining up here. I'll show this tower in a minute because this is really like the way this tower's turned out. But like this area, crap. I turn. They just had an update for Optifine, and I can never figure out sky, clouds. Off. There we go. Turn my clouds off. I like having clouds on, but not when I'm trying to show the ground. But this area has all been flattened, so I tried to show some of it last year, but like this whole mountain has been flattened since then. This has all been flattened. That's all been flattened. I've only got like these two little sections left, and then it's all been flattened. So I've gotten a ton of resources from flattening this all out as well this year. And so that's going pretty good. I get a lot of blocks from doing that. Um, do not try to build a city, like a modern city, in a shattered savanna or a savanna plateau area. It is a lot of mining. And, I didn't plan when I first started building my modern city over there in the desert, I didn't plan to expand over this way. So, you know, just understand if you're trying to make something big, eventually you're going to run out of room. And that's one thing I've learned in Minecraft is make yourself plenty of room. So, what should I show? What should I show? This is Trump Towers. It's the exterior's done now, but there's nothing inside. Let me just show you. Not to be political, I'm not saying vote for Trump or anything. It's just an iconic skyscraper that I started last year, and I was gonna put a mob grinder in here, but I don't know. I haven't yet. I kind of like the way this looks. He's got like you can see the light coming out of because the roof is only made out of slabs, so at the corners the light comes through, and that looks kind of cool to me. But there's nothing really in here. This tower was here last year, I believe, but this tower is brand new, and it's just a filler building. There's nothing in it. It's empty. You can see right through it. I was gonna put an iron farm in there, but the problem is I haven't spawn proofed this, exterior, so I don't want to get a bunch of iron golems spawning on these railings of the window. So yeah, I don't know. Coming over here, nothing has changed in this building, although I have done this pathway is kind of new. I put these um, pink trees here, the cherry blossom trees. I really like how they turn out, and with the effect of the flowers falling, I think that's really cool. Um, this is my Freedom Tower, which is the new tower in New York City that is built where the Twin Towers were. Um, it is now very hollow because I don't have my old texture pack on again. But the thing I like about this one is although it's a very simple design, I love the way it looks and how big it is. And I like looking from the middle here. It's like a kaleidoscope when you're looking straight up. So I like the way it turned out. I mean, all it is cayenne wool windows and then, prismarine and lanterns. That's all it is. And so I like the way it turned out. I started like putting this floor here. I was like, oh, maybe I'll make a lobby or something, and I didn't get very far. So still need to do work in here. This is my town hall that I made. I Looking back, I do have a lot of regrets of where I place my builds. Like this building, you think about city halls, like I think about the Utah State Capitol or um, like the Washington State Capitol. The state capitals are usually off in a hill by themselves. They're not surrounded by other buildings. So I wanted it to have the Parthenon pillars, but it just the front of it, you don't have you really should have a good like walkway in front of it so you can walk and see the size of the building as you're coming up. And I kind of robbed myself of that when I placed it right across the street from Freedom Tower. So that's one of my regrets, but I like the way it turned out. It actually looks pretty good, and it really wasn't as hard to build as I thought it was going to be. But this is my Zane Hall City, or my Zane, wow, tongue twister, Zanesville City Hall Trading Center. So it's supposed to look like my city hall. I When I built this place, I wanted to make like meeting rooms and have it furnished, like people would come here as if it was a regular city building, and they'd buy permits and discuss plans and have council meetings and budget meetings and stuff. But I never got that far. I Maybe I'll walk up there in a little bit. This is my trading hall. Nothing's changed too much, and I really don't want to mess it up because let's see. Huh. I love the way these guys sound. Huh. Okay, good. So I heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they changed the way that you trade with these guys. Like, you can't keep turning them into zombies like you used to and make it so they trade, you know, like one emerald for one gold block, or getting them all the way down to basically trading one stick for one emerald. So I don't want to hurt these guys, and I hope they never die because they're all, pretty special. Like this guy, one book and one emerald for like mending. Yeah, that's a steal because you definitely want mending on all your tools. So I have more room to get more trades, but I haven't gone that far yet. Here's the villager breeder over there, and then once I get a trade that I would want, I'd bring them over here, trade with them a couple times, and then go through here, turn them into a zombie, and trade until I was done with them. The roof's made out of emerald blocks, but don't act like that's impressive because it's really not. You can get emeralds for trading nothing. And I'll show you when we go to my Prismarine base. You can really get emeralds for nothing. So, coming up here, I've got this giant staircase that goes to the roof. And the bell tower's made out of emeralds as well. So, this is one of my more favorite builds. Just functionality-wise, it's a trading hall, and it's my city hall. So that's a pretty good view of it right there. This skyscraper is probably... Let's see, let me go up here, fly up on top of this building. This skyscraper is probably my favorite, like, design of all my skyscrapers. That's still not even high enough. Let's fly up here. Get a little bit of distance. If you don't know what this is supposed to be, this is World Trade 3, so it's in the World Trade Complex, next to Freedom Tower in New York City, and I love the way it looks, and it turned out really good. So, kind of it's my new, I say these skyscrapers over here are my new generation of skyscrapers because they're not hollow, or they don't look hollow like my older skyscrapers like these four, where you can just see right through them. So I'm using more wool, like I'll use wool as the color, and then I'll use another color of glass panels. But the front of this is actually slab. That's stone slabs and wool. And the reason I did that is because it makes a kind of pearl scent. So like the way you look at it, like from different angles, it's like the blue follows you. So you look up, looks gray, but down here at your eye level, it turns blue, like reflection. I don't know. If you've ever been in a big city and you look at like a giant skyscraper as the sun's setting, it's the coolest thing when the light fades down and shimmers down the skyscraper, and it changes based on where your perspective is. So that's kind of what I was trying to go for, but it took forever because it's you jump up one block, you put a slab, you make a row of slabs. This took forever to make. The iron part actually wasn't that hard. That was pretty easy. And then last year when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to finish it, um, I don't know. I was really torn about what to do, and I was trying to make it like a silver color. It didn't end up going so great. What I did is I did blue wool with yellow panes. Um, I mean, I like it now, but at first I was like, oh, that's definitely not what I was wanting. But it is finished. The back is finished. I like the antennas on top. Turned out pretty good. Inside there is a automatic wool farm, and it works out really good. I've got it turned off right now, but I can just go through and I can change the color of the wool on all the sheep, and then I turn it on, and it clips them all. But now I'm going to turn it back on like that, but it's got a timer, so every 60 seconds or so it shears all the wool, and it makes too much wool. So I've got black for a project I'm trying to decide if I want to build or not. But these are all filled with different colors of wool, so okay, good. Um, yeah, and then you just have to make sure it's always stocked on shears. So you just fill this up with shears, and then it lasts for quite a while. So yeah, coming over here, this building's empty. There's nothing in it. It's just a giant glass white building. This is a frame that I should start building, but I don't know how I want it to look yet. Um, Same with this. This is just another building. I'm trying to use some iron that I have so it doesn't sit and go to waste. And then this is another building that I'm very proud of. This is Taipei 101. At least I think it is. It's in Taiwan, I think. I've never actually been there. But it's like a green and gold building, super high skyscraper, and um, inside this is another gold farm and AFK XP farm. It only works on Java. Do not build this on Xbox or Bedrock. It will not work. But yeah, the piglins fall, give you XP, and then down here you get gold. So there's that. Coming over here, this is my Stark Tower. I built this right after the frog lights came out, and I built a frog light farm, and I was trying to make something look like neon. The green frog lights, they kind of look like neon with the purple ones, so I made Stark Towers. There's nothing in there, and nothing's changed since last year. That over there, nothing has changed in like 4 years on this project that I made. This is supposed to be the Seattle Space Needle, but from a distance it looks like a rocket from a Disney cartoon. The elevator's inside and it does work. So, yeah. This is my other brother, his castle. Not a lot has changed. I mean, I put a wall around it. Um, Before he started building here, this used to be part of the Savannah Plateau area, and he just started building his castle there, and he started building that probably 5 years ago. So as I've expanded this way with my city and started just flattening everything out, slowly his territory has kind of become smaller and smaller just because he's not building outward, so now I'm kind of trapping him, and he's doesn't have his land rights anymore, I guess. But I mean, he's got his mine back here. It's actually pretty big. So it goes down those stairs, and then it opens up into a pretty big area. So I need more rockets. He's got a giant portal that he built over there. Crap. I am out of rockets. That is no bueno. He's got like a throne, and honestly, this is more furnished than anything in my world. So props to him for actually furnishing stuff. But he's got this giant portal he made, and then the bamboo. He's trying to make a wall of bamboo. I don't know what he's doing with that bamboo. He's got like some cows. All right, let's go. I want to come back to that tower because that one's new. This building doesn't have any farms in it, but this is the Shanghai World Finance Tower. And it's really just being used, I guess there's the mud farm. That is a mud farm. But mostly this is just used for stone storage. So this is all full of stone. All of it. And then this little section, this is granite and andesite, diorite. But that's basically what this building is used for. It's just storage. And it is kind of especially at night, it is kind of it deceives the eye because this is just made out of black glass. So you would think, like my other skyscrapers that I'm very angry at right now, they're in timeout because I'm angry at them, you would think that you'd be able to see right through it. But I have actually gone inside and I have flooded the whole building with water so that it's not see-through. Now, there are ups and downs to it. The upside is that it was very easy to fill with water. The downside is I can't put torches in it, otherwise you'll be able to see that it's full of water. So, yeah, at night it's really dark and you can hardly see that there's a tower there, unfortunately. If you're wondering what these floating pyramids are, they're just beacons that give me haste so I can cut these mountains down faster. Coming over here, this section is new. This tower is new. I started it not too long ago, but only this one wall is almost done. I don't know if you can recognize what it is, but this is supposed to be VNC Tower from Dying Light number 2. I really like the Dying Light games, the zombies parkour games. That was really fun to me. I still like number 1 more than number 2, but number 2 was cool because it was like there was a lot more area to explore, I think, and you know, the making the world more three-dimensional. You have giant skyscrapers that you're running around and going in. But this building was built to house a new farm that I started this year. It is actually an auto basalt generator. Let's see, tower basalt farm. Okay. Let me show you this. It's turned off right now, and it's going to stay turned off because on my server, it always blows itself up, unfortunately. But I've got 12 basalt generators. You turn them all on here, and I can go to the other side and turn the other side on if I needed to. Come up here, and this is all lit up, so you should be able to AFK here, no problems. So it just blows it up, and then it falls down into a hopper. And this has been destroyed many, many times. All right, I'll turn this off so it doesn't annoy me too much. I need to turn those generators back on so they fill up, but you can keep doing this, and I have so much basalt that I don't know what to do with it all, which is actually a good thing. So, yeah, this has been through many iterations. This obsidian wall has been layered up many times and added to, and the the hopper section has been changed up so that it doesn't keep blowing itself up. And I think I've gotten it to the point now where this is slow enough that it doesn't break itself. And for a while, I was scared to start building the structure around it that I was planning on building, the VNC skyscraper, because I didn't want it to just keep blowing itself up. So anyway, it's pretty safe now, and it doesn't break unless I'm having really bad connection on the server and something happens. But it's pretty safe now. And then there's that hopper trail that goes to my item storage. So this is an empty building. You know, disregard it. There's nothing in there. But hopefully, I'm done with this building by the time that the next world tour comes around. But the VNC tower, that was something that I wanted to build for a while. Because there's this mission, if you don't know what Dying Light is, it's a game where you're like in a zombie apocalypse and you're running through as a survival and doing parkour and killing zombies and other humans. And one of the final, not the final minute mission, but a mission towards the end, like the whole mission is going through this giant skyscraper and you're parkouring the whole time, and it's filled with a bunch of zombies. And so that was a really fun mission for me, even though the game itself, I didn't like it as much as the first one. This was definitely an iconic structure that I wanted to build. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much everything in the city. Teen Titans Towers. There's nothing like super important else that I want to show. I mean, obviously there's a lot more things in the city that I could show. Um, well, maybe I'll show this just for 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. Then I'll go. If you're seeing things that you're like, oh, I want an explanation on that, you can go watch my last world tour. I went super in depth in everything. I'm definitely not doing it in this world tour. I started to make like a cruise ship. I don't know why. I'm trying to think of ways to use my iron, and didn't get very far before I got bored of that. So maybe I'll keep working on that. Maybe I won't. Football stadium. There's a path that goes all the way to my brother's castle, which he's made a lot of progress, but I don't want to actually show that yet. His castle's pretty far away. Um, so, and he ran away on purpose. He was trying to be far away from everybody, and well, I figured out where his base was, and I built a pathway that goes all the way to his house. So he was kind of not happy about that. But anyways, let's go to where should we go next? We should go. I'll show this just because I need to follow up with what I said last year. I don't know if you can hear my dog Zane. He's really loud when he eats and drinks water, so he's eating right now. So if you come over here, this is an old plains biome. Land right here on top of Farquaad's Gate. You can see off in the distance, there's my. It's a lot further away than it looks. But that's my spawn base. That's the Erd tree from where we started this tour. Um, and this is an area I built like 2 years ago. I wanted to run away, and I was sick of living in the city, typical romantic comedy setup, wanted to get away. So I named this area the Royal Pastures, and my idea was I wanted to have fields filled with every type of crop and every type of animal, livestock, and I've got almost all of them, but I made this windmill here, as well as having a pretty little pathway. So, oh, the dog's barking. All right, I'm gonna pause here. All right, we are almost done, guys. I promise. I promise. I had to stop the video for a second. Had somebody uh, come to say hi. Uh, right. Let's come over here. So I already talked about this. This is my windmill farm area. It does look really cool. Off in the distance, I planted some cherry flower trees, and you can also see my spawn base all the way over there. So it's a. Sorry, my dog is barking. What are you barking at, Zane? Hmm. What are you barking at? He just wants to say hi to everybody. So I made this bridge over here, and this is a gate that I wish I didn't put it here. I really wish I didn't. I wish I would have put it over by my castle area because it would have been so much cooler. In the last video, so this is, let's see, let me back up a little bit. This is supposed to be like the entrance to Farquaad's Kingdom Duloc in the first Shrek movie. So this is supposed to be like when Shrek and Donkey walk through the cornfields, which, we don't have cornfields in Minecraft, so there's sugar cane and bamboo. And then you come up here, and then there's uh, the concession stand line that the one guy runs through as Shrek just goes straight through and knocks all the lines over. I did have some snowman guards in here, but they have all died, probably from skeletons. But yeah, I was really in a medieval mood last year, and I made a lot of promises that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to keep. Not promises, but ideas. I had this idea that I wanted to make a little stony village, a medieval village. Um, but you can see the outlines of my skyscrapers off in the distance. And, I really wanted to go back and focus on my old castle area. I've done a lot of terraforming here, of making this all flat. I mean, this is a ton of dirt that I put down and flattened out. Um, so I'm not quite sure what I want to do here anymore because I've now changed my mind that I don't want to build a medieval area over here. So, I mean, honestly, I kind of want to try and download World Edit. Every time I've ever used World Edit before, it always turned out horrible. But I would love to copy this and put it somewhere else, but then I'd feel bad because I did something with a creative tool instead of building it myself, even though I did build it myself. But I don't know. This was kind of my first experience doing like the fading, or when you do make buildings look aged. A lot of good builders, unlike myself, you'll use texturing. They call a lot of different things where you use like andesite and smooth stones, stone bricks to make it look weathered and faded. So, you know, this was something that I was really new at instead of just using one solid stone piece. But I don't know. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do here. We'll see what I decide to do. But for now, this area is on pause, and I don't really want to work over here. So um, there's all my piggies coming over this way. Let's go. This is the walkway, but I don't want to spend too long over here. The only thing really left that I want to show, there's the bridge. It's taken a little bit longer to load in, but there's that side of the Kings Highway. Back here, we've been here before. The only thing I really want to show left is my oh hello sir, good sir, is my Prismarine farm because I have done a ton of work there this last year. And pathways. I've been doing a lot of work on pathways. Let's see here a second. I believe this area was like this in the last World Tour, I think. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. But this for sure is new. This is what I call my great all-connecting world bridge that I built this year. Let's see if I can slide. I need to turn my fog down. How do I turn my fog off? Details. Fog. Off. Done. There you go. Don't do this if your computer is a potato. It won't run very good if you turn your fog off and turn your view distance up. But these are some Froglight squares I used to have. I would fly through them like giant air race circles, and it takes you to the Froglight farm and my bastion all the way over there. But nothing's changed this year, so I'm not going to go over there. But yeah, this is the bridge I made. It just basically goes over the giant lava lake. And it doesn't go all the way to the bastion yet. I plan on digging a tunnel that goes out to the Froglight farm. But I haven't gotten that far yet, so this is how far I've gotten. And then you can see my old pathway that I used to take to get over here. And then there's a tunnel and staircase that comes down here to this. This is my portal taking us to the Ocean Monument Prismarine farm. Alright, so this area kind of looks the same, but this area is totally different from last year. So let's look at this Prismarine and Guardian farm. First phase started 2019. Demolition and reconstruction second phase was started in January. So shortly after I recorded the last World Tour with some floating sand blocks. Yeah, this looks a lot different than it did before. There you go. That gives you a good view of how it functions now. Yeah, so I totally just demolished the whole old pyramid. And for a while I was trying to save it, like, oh, you got to be conservative and conserve the monument, make it. And then I'm like, well, there's like a monument that's like, oh shoot, I fell. Oh, it's kind of lagging a little bit. Sorry for that. There's like another ocean monument that's just like 40 chunks that way. So, and then there's another one that's over like literally right next to my another castle that I started building. So there's tons of ocean monuments around. They're not as hard to find as I used to think. So I just, I hated the way that the old one worked. The hoppers always got clogged up. It was inefficient. It didn't work. The Guardians didn't always die. So I just wanted to change it a little bit and make it better. And yeah, there's the AFK box all the way up there. That makes it work super, super fast if I AFK up there. But I mean, it works fast enough, and I've got enough Prismarine now that I don't really need to. So this area over here, this is probably a little bit too ambitious, but my plan was to like drain the entire area to make it spawn much, much more. Um, but it's taken forever. Like, I just use sand, and it's taking forever to drain. You can't go down here if you don't have elytra, because the only way out is to fly out. But you come down here, and I'll talk about the villagers in a second, but this is the killing chamber, so there's the only water area that the guardians can spawn is up there, because this area is all drained out, and basically the borders, the old borders of the pyramid is what my new wall is. So in this area is the only area that they can actually spawn. And I had campfires before that were killing them, and I just didn't like that because you had all the fire sounds and it made it lag really bad. And now I wanted to make something comical, like, you know, you can see them falling and dying, because they do take fall damage most of the time. Sometimes they don't. They glitch out, like that guy. The game still thinks he's falling because he fell on a hopper. So occasionally you'll get guys that don't die, but most of them fall and die. And then coming down here, I used a couple methods to try and stop it from jamming, because the old version, it couldn't keep up. The funnels and the filters would get jammed. So what I have now, well, it used to be I don't want to stop it. I'll deal with that later. There used to be 3 of them, so 3 would go in a circle and collect. Just because, you know, you have to like pre-sort it, otherwise it all just jams up and overflows. And even if I'm in the spawn AFK area for more than an hour, it still overflows. So I don't know what happened to all the other minecarts. Oh, okay, you can see there's like 3 in there. They're all bunched up together for whatever reason. And then you got like 7 filters for each thing that they drop. So the crystals, the prismarine shards, and the rotten cod or raw cod fish. So yeah, it works out pretty good. And then they get shot into dispensers that shoot the items up. There's 3 pillars of water. I've had to change the sizes of it. They can only be too wide, otherwise the fish can spawn in there, or the guardians can spawn in there, and that's not good. This guy's interested on what's going on over here. So they get sorted down below, come up here, and then I don't need that. I've got it. I mean, you might look at this and wonder why I made it at a slope like this. Obviously, I don't need this much storage, but I kind of went overkill. I think these the rows are all filled. But I did it like this because I actually just came a little bit ago and got some prismarine for a build that I'm doing. That way you can just get, if you just need 1 double chest, you get 1 double chest, and then they'll slowly all filter down. So that's why I kind of did it like this. You got shards. This is the crystal section for making the sea lanterns, and then this is for the raw fish. And I'm not quite done. I still need to finish the black prismarine, or the dark green prismarine. And then this area over here, this took forever to do. So nobody better come over here and disturb my villagers, because I've got 12 of these guys, and they've been turned into zombies 3 times each. So I can come here and I can trade 1 fish for 1 emerald, and each guy will give me 16 emeralds. If he refreshes once a day, each guy gives me 32 emeralds. So 32 times 12, you know, that's 6 full stacks of emeralds I can get every Minecraft day. There we go. There's the fishies. And I've got a full shulker full of emerald blocks, so don't worry about me. If I need emeralds, I just come here. I can get so many so fast. And this is kind of why I need to protect these guys, because apparently you can't get them down to those lower prices anymore, those historic rates. Um, so I don't know what all the trades are, like the lowest they'll go, but they won't go this low anymore. So um, yeah, got the um, gosh, beacon. That's too tired. I'm too tired. It's too late. Can't remember anything. I got the beacon here, but it's not centered, which kind of makes me mad, because if you come here behind, you lose the effect of the beacon. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want to build here exactly, or how I want it to look. I am going to keep working on it. I want it to kind of look like a Atlantis palace or something. Um, make this like a giant gate. I could put a gate somewhere right here, or like you're going into the palace and then have a giant staircase coming down. Because, like I said, if you fall down there and don't have any elytra, you can't get out. So you're stuck down there. But it's not a bad place to be stuck. Over here I have a couple shulkers full of sand and cobblestone, because it's a lot of sand. You don't realize how much sand it is until you empty your inventory 10 times. And then I just run through with torches to collect it once it's done, so I can collect all of this. This is all dried up now. Um, so yeah, the heart of the sea is in there, so if I start swimming, you see I get the conduit power from there. Even though it's not directly connected to the water source I'm in, it counts as like a beacon reaching over to you. So I think that's basically where I want to wrap it up. There's, like I've said a couple times, I'm trying to make this video shorter for myself and only go over things that have really changed. We're looking at about 2.5 hours right now total time. So, yeah, if you guys want to see anything else, I do want to shout out my other channel. I'm going to link it below. It's at Guns and Trucks. That's the name of my other YouTube channel. I record videos about truck driving and logistics and kind of what I do for work, and a couple other of my hobbies. That's the channel that I'm really going to be uploading on. I've got over 100 videos on there, I think. But that also includes reels. I have a lot of short reels that are on there. But I'll put a link to that, Trucks and Guns. And if you have any questions about what I do, I know in the last 2 World Tours I've promised to do other uploads other than World Tours, but I'm just going to be honest, guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep doing these yearly World Tours, because at the end of the day, it's really just for me, not for anybody else. I don't want to stream on Twitch. I don't, Minecraft is a personal thing to me. I don't, I don't look at it like a career. I play this game for fun because it's a mindless game that I can play while watching TV and hanging out with friends. And so, anyways, if you have any questions or want to go back, my other 2 World Tours are up. This is the 3rd one I've done so far. And check out my other channel. And if you have any questions or if you're interested in getting into, truck driving or questions about work, feel free to leave comments or message me. And yeah, see you guys next year in the next World Tour, and we'll see how much more I can get done this year. So stay classy, guys.